a look at the way we'll line up tonight's baseball game. There you see the defensive alignment for the Indianapolis Indians. That's Razor Shines in position out at first base. Johnny Paredes at second. He's having himself a pretty good year. Luis Rivera is back from the big club. He's at short. And Jeff Reynolds is at third. It'll be Wilfredo Tejada behind the plate. And out in the outfield, Dallas Williams. That's a fixture the local fans have come to know. He makes his home here. Ron Shepard at center and Billy Moore out in right field. And Ubaldo Heredia is on the mound for the Indianapolis Indians. Heredia coming into this ball game with a record of 3 wins and no losses. And he's off Chuck to an awfully good start, and that's the kind of a effort they like from a young man like Heredia to get them out of the box in a hurry. His ERA is 2.14, and he's playing well early.
Big, strong right-hander. You see his record, number 36, and good, smooth motion off the mound. The Tribe has really prided itself in good pitching performances this year, not only with their starters, but out of the bullpen as well. And this is the key. And it's always difficult, Jerry, because the major leagues are going to be calling upon these young men. As soon as the season gets pretty well into swing, you're going to find a pitcher maybe have a slump, you're going to have an injury. Somebody goes on a 21-day disabled list, and immediately the major leagues, Montreal in this particular case, will look right down here to Indianapolis and look for the pitchers. So for the Tribe to be successful, there are 2 things. First of all, they have to have good pitching all the time. And then number 2 is they have to be able to rely on the fact that Heredia, for instance, may not be here in mid-June or July. He may be called up for one reason or another, and that's why it's awfully difficult at the association level to produce winners like we had last year.
All right, Gary Varsho will lead off for the Iowa Cubs. He's hitting .293 with 12 hits, a couple of doubles, 1 triple, and no home runs. We'll show you the batting order in just a second here. Varsho is the right fielder. Ground ball foul down the first base line. Here's the hitting order now. Leading off is Varsho, as he mentioned, playing right field. Stevenson, the first baseman. Palmero is out in the left. Rowden, the third baseman. Quinones at second. Berryhill, the catcher. Nochi at short. Darren Jackson in center. And Jackie Davidson, the pitcher. Ground ball again foul down the first place line. And in case you're wondering, there is no designated hitter in tonight's ball game. It is a mutual agreement when the Indians play a National League club, which does not use, a National League farm club, which does not use the DH, that they can, by mutual agreement, it's not any kind of an American Association rule or anything like that, forego the DH and let the batters hit, the pitchers hit, and that's what's happening tonight. The pitch is high. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. In fact, that does have an impact on a ball game because the pitchers are going to be hitting off and on throughout the year.
Exactly. The parent club to the Iowa Cubs, Chicago Cubs, won this afternoon.
Fouled out in front of the plate, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Final on that game, 7-5.
I think they had to come from behind to get the job done. They were in trouble and did win it.
Did you see who the guest announcer was today?
Yes, and I've forgotten who it was.
John Hondo Havlicek.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Ubaldo Heredia is on the mound. 3 wins and no losses coming into this ball game. An ERA of just over 2. Ground ball again foul down the first base line. And the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Man, there is nothing like a night at the ballpark, Chuck. This is about as good as it gets.
This is just great.
And what could be, well, they had a great crowd to start the season in the first home game this year.
12,007.
Yeah, great crowd. We're not going to get that tonight, but it's going to be a really good crowd. There's a drive to center field. It's in the gap out there. The right fielder, Billy Moore, comes in to scoop it up, and a single. So Gary Varsho starts off things offensively for the Iowa Cubs with a single to right field, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Phil Stevenson. Stevenson coming into this ball game, hitting .211, 8 hits, 4 doubles, no triples, and no home runs. Stevenson, one of the top RBI men of this ball club, with 7.
Stevenson is 26 years of age, 6'1", 190. 2 runs to his credit, with 8 hits so far this year.
Phil Stevenson hitting .211. Runner on first. Pitch is inside. Ball 1. Heredia, as Chuck pointed out, has got a good, smooth delivery, even from the stretch position. Throw over to first. It's close, but he's safe.
That's a good move to first.
Oh, that's a great move to first base. Got to be some happiness in the Montreal organization with getting Tim Raines apparently back in.
Boy, that really had to be a question mark for them.
Of course, the Indians now in the third year of an agreement with Montreal. There goes the runner. There's the throw to second. It is high, and he's safe. The throw was to the first base side of second, and Varshaw's got some speed. A stolen base for Gary Varshaw.
Well, let's look at it again. He gets a good jump on Heredia, and you can see he's halfway down before the catcher even has the ball. Teixeira has the ball out of his glove, and that was close, but in ahead of the throw.
So the Iowa Cubs have a runner in scoring position early in this ball game. Pitch is high. Nobody out, top half of the first inning. Indianapolis Indians and the Iowa Cubs. 2 balls and 1 strikeout to the first baseman, Phil Stevenson. High and away, 3-1.
Now, Heredia is having not only problems locating the plate, he's trying to keep the ball away. Stevenson has a good bat, and with a runner in scoring position now, he wants everything out and hit to the left side. So he's trying to hit that outside corner. He's missed 2 times now.
Foul ball back up behind us and on the roof here at Busch Stadium.
I didn't hear anything hit the roof. That must have gone over.
Gone all the way
car.
over. That's about where it is, as a matter of fact. I'm glad you pointed that out. Phil Stevenson hitting 217 in 13 ball games, 46 at bats, and 10 hits.
It's that 87 Ferrari sitting out there, isn't it?
No, that's not mine. If that's what it hit, we're all right then. Count stays at 3-2 now. And the runner out at second is Gary Varshaw, the leadoff batter for the Iowa Cubs, who singled to right field and stole second. That's ball 4. And Joe Sparks probably going to start edging up toward the edge of those dugout steps here as Rafael Palmeiro steps in. He is the left fielder for the ball club. Hitting .309 in 14 ball games. 17 hits and 55 at bat. He has scored 8 runs and got a pretty good slugging percentage, hitting .436 in the slugging percentage category. Runners at first and second and nobody out. There's a strike on the inside corner. Heredia chucked in himself an early hole in this ball game.
Well, a good solid hit by Varshaw to right field. Then Varshaw stole second, stole on the pitcher. On the walk to Stevenson, puts runners at first and second. We are still looking for the first out.
Foul ball, yes, down the first baseline. And very quickly, Razor Shines comes in to pick that ball up, lest it come back into fair territory.
Razor's really been a blessing to Indiana so far. You got a good shot of him there as he, that's Paredes rather. It's walking over, smoothing out the dirt between first and second. Shines, number 3, playing off the first base side. Shines is the kind of a ball player that you can call on to play anywhere. You need a first baseman, he plays first. You need a catcher, he'll spot down behind the plate. You need a right fielder, there he is, Razor. And what a great young man.
In fact, he didn't start last night, Chuck. He was in the DH. He did start in the DH bracket, and they have moved him around, as you say, to fill in whatever void is there. Fly ball, right field. Billy Moore going back. Moore is going to play it off the wall, fumbles it. Now here comes the runner, Varshaw rounding third. Here's the play into the second baseman. The play comes home, and safe at home is Gary Varshaw. So a couple of solidly hit balls, one by Varshaw and a double by Rafael Palmeiro, and it's 1-0. I thought for a minute, Chuck, that baby had found its way out here. He hit that thing against the 350-foot mark out there, against the concrete, the brick wall here at Busch Stadium. And we'll make a trip to the mound and have a brief conversation with Ubaldo Heredia.
Wade Rowden will be the next man up, the third baseman for the Cubs.
Out of the mound is Dave Tomlin. That's a name that a lot of baseball fans will recognize. He's had himself a rather stellar career over the years, as a matter of fact. He's been around for quite some time. And here is the base hit that brought in the first run of the ball game.
Well, here's Palmeiro getting all the bat on this one. Believe me, that ball just a few feet to the right could have been out of this ballpark. Now, you're going to watch Billy Moore run back. He plays this ball. It's off the top of the wall. Did not get up. I was beginning to think if it had gotten up against the billboard out there, that would have been a home run. They call that home run. He plays it well off the wall. Overran it just a little bit, but at any rate, a big double. Scores one, advances Stevenson to third. So the Cubs lead 1-0 early in this first inning. We still are looking for the first out.
Runners now on second and third. It is Stevenson down at third. He was on base via the walk, and then Palmeiro doubled him over to third and brought Varsho home. That, by the way, was the 7th run batted in for Gary Palmeiro so far this season. 1-1 the count. At the plate, Wade Rowden. Rowden's the third baseman for the Iowa Cubs, hitting .333 on 7 hits, or 16 hits and 48 at bats. Held up with a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the few players so far that already has been ahead of in the count. Looked out at third base, Bill Stevenson. You see down at second base, Rafael Palmeiro. They're both in scoring position with 1 out. I beg your pardon, with nobody out. And a base hit to right field again. Billy Moore will play it on the bounce. Here comes the throw home. It's a good strong throw, cut off by Razor Shines, and another run scores. Stevenson crosses the plate. It's 2-0 Iowa. And Chuck, there's been nothing fluky about any of the 3 hits so far for the Cubs.
Yeah, they've all been hit very solidly. Let's look at this. It also goes to right field. So Moore is getting a workout here in the first inning for Indianapolis. As you see, Rowden slicing the ball out over second base, and Moore plays it on 1 hop, but the run scores Stevenson, and it's 2-0 Iowa. And now with runners at first and third, nobody out.
Ground ball is fair. Shines couldn't get to it. Luis Quinones will drive 1 run in, and the other runner goes to third base. So Rafael Palmeiro crosses the plate. It'll be a single. And Quinones, the second baseman, is on down at first. All 4 hits in the ball game have gone to right field. Single by Varsho, a walk by Stevenson, a double by Palmeiro, then singles to right by Wayne Rowden and Luis Quinones. And it's a 3-0 baseball game, and we still have nobody out. And now we get some action down in the bullpen. Up is Tim Barrett. A 6'1", 185-pounder with a 1-0 record so far in this season. The catcher will step in now for the Iowa Cubs. It's Damon Berryhill. Well, Chuck, this just drives you nuts. You get your starting lineup all set. You send a guy like Heredia out there, and you figure he's going to at least get things off on the right foot, and he can't get anybody out right now.
Well, Heredia really is wild now. He's trying to obviously get the ball over. That's about all he can ask for now, and when he gets it over, it apparently doesn't have much on it because they're hitting him very well. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits already in this inning. Right up the middle. This is going to glance off his glove, score another run, and put runners at first and second as Berryhill singles off the pitcher. And that scores Rowden from third.
So it's a 4-0 baseball game, and we're still looking for the first out of this contest.
Let's take a look at this again. Heredia really, let's watch to see whether he has a chance to field it. Yeah, he has a chance to get the glove layer and just a little bit out of his reach. It's off the edge of the glove and enough to deflect the ball.
Actually, Chuck, had he not touched it, it might have been a better
Paredes might have had a chance to field it.
Well, this is not normal for Heredia. He's pitched 21 innings coming into this ball game and allowed only 13 hits and only 5 earned runs. So he's allowed 4 earned runs in this ball game so far.
He's the shortstop, Paul Nochi.
Still looking for the first out of the ball game. Runners now at first and second after Varsho, Stevenson, Palmeiro, and Rowden have all scored. It is Quinones at second, and Berryhill is on at first base. Well, you especially hate this, Chuck, when you got a special night going like WTTV Channel 4 night, and you got a good crowd in here. and you want to put on a show for the fans.
Well, the fans haven't had a chance to cheer yet. That'll come.
Let's hope so.
Talking to Joe Sparks before the game, and I said, it feels good to be back here, doesn't it? He says, yeah, it sure does. I said, we'd like to do it again this year, and he says, we have what is traditional in minor league play, and that's a lot of new faces.
Yeah. And they will come and go throughout the season, for that matter. Nochi fakes the bunt. There's throw to second, and back in safely at second base is Quinones. Paul Nochi hitting .234 with 1 home run and 6 RBIs.
Tejada has an excellent arm. That throw probably didn't have too much chance to get the runner. Just lets him know that he knows he's out there, though. But gets that ball down. Any opportunity you have, you watch Tejada make pretty good throws out to second base.
Kind of the Bronx cheer, if you will, for the pitcher, Heredia. Speaking of a good throw down by the catcher, Tejada, he had yesterday off, Chuck. They put Luis Pujols, who was a player coach, and let him catch the game yesterday. That's his position, the catcher, when he does catch. And you got to give those catchers a little time off once in a while. Let them rest those knees up a little bit. It's a tough job back there. Wilfredo Tejada behind the plate. There's the pitch, caught the inside corner, and it's a no ball and 1 strike count.
This is Darren Jackson, the center fielder. Bats and throws right. He's 23 years old, 170 pounds, and 238 average.
Pitch is high, 1-1. Batting 8th in the batting order, Darren Jackson. Jackie Davidson, the pitcher, will follow, so we're going to see him at the plate before we see him on the mound of this ball game. Down at first base, you see number 12, Damon Berryhill. And then looking over the shoulder of Luis Quinones.
It's one of the rare times tonight that Heredia has been ahead of the batter.
Heredia leads his ball club in strikeouts, Chuck. He has 20. Closest one to him is Jeff Fisher with 19, and Mark Gardner with 19. So you know he's got some stuff when he leads the club in strikeouts, but just nothing shaken so far in this first inning.
He just missed the corner with that one.
Yeah, Tejada trying to coerce the home plate umpire to give him the strike. He didn't get it done. Jackson, 229, a couple of homers, 9 RBIs, batting 8th in the batting order. May have taken something off that one, and he's got back-to-back strikeouts. And that'll bring up Jackie Davidson. We'll see Davidson on the mound shortly for the Iowa Cubs. Davidson's got something to work with now, Chuck. He hasn't won a ball game this year. He's 0-3, carrying an 0-3 record. Heredia wheeling and dealing again. Pitch is high. First 4 batters for the Iowa Cubs have scored. Varsho, Stevenson, Palmero, and Rowden. And so far in the inning, 5 hits. But Heredia has also struck out the last 2 batters he has faced. And with that swing, Chuck, I suspect this could be number 3 right here.
Are you finding fault with Davidson's swing?
No, I just noticed that it's a pitcher swing is what, what I've noticed. They kind of wave at it. They got a piece of wood on that one, though. Right back to the pitcher. Heredia shines, and that's it. But the Iowa Cubs come up with 4 runs in the first inning of play on 5 hits and a couple of runners left on base. So it's 4-0 Iowa. The Indianapolis Indians coming to the plate. Back at the ballpark, Jerry Baker along with Chuck Marlowe. The Indianapolis Indians now coming to the plate, trying to pick up a little firepower of their own. Here's the defensive alignment now for the Iowa Cubs. Out on the outfield, Rafael Palmero, Darren Jackson, and Gary Varsho. Around the infield from first to third, Phil Stevenson over at first, Luis Quinones at second, Paul Nochi at short, Wade Rodden down at third, Damon Berryhill behind the plate, and Jackie Davidson will be on the mound for the Iowa Cubs. Chuck, we talked about Jackie Davidson. He's a 6-footer, 22 years of age, 175 pounds. He's got an 0-3 record with an ERA of 4.12, but now he's got something to work with, and we'll see if that affects his pitching prowess tonight.
That would affect mine.
If you have 4 runs to start with at a start a ball game.
I'll tell you how great I would be on. If I'm anything on the mound in baseball, like I played golf today. I went out and practiced. I hit balls for about 30 minutes or so, and I quite frankly really hit the ball well. I went out and played 9 holes this morning, and I couldn't find the green.
Well,
I couldn't find the tee.
As Arnold Palmer once said to the guy, practice hard, take a little time off, and quit.
That's right.
I think that's wise advice for you.
That's exactly.
Johnny Paradis, the second baseman, hitting .347 with a couple of homers and 12 RBIs. Chuck, they're high on this guy. He's a good player. Ground ball down to third. Scooped up by Rowden. Long throw across the diamond and 1 gone. Dallas Williams will come to the plate. He'll be followed by Razor Shines, then Billy Moore, Jeff Reynolds, Ron Shepard, Luis Rivera, Wilfredo Tejada, and then the pitcher, Ubaldo Heredia.
I saw Dallas today. I was out here early before I went out to the golf course, and Razor was walking in the same time I was. This was early morning, and I want to tell you something. This young man is really compact. He is a solid ball player.
Fly ball left field. That may be trouble for Palmeiro, and now he's got it. He sliced the ball to left field, and Palmeiro got there in a hurry. He put some wood on that one, Chuck.
Yeah, he sure did. Well, I was going to say, really in great shape. You know, Razor is, Dallas is 29 years old, and he probably is through what you would call your peak for baseball.
Yes, batting order. Paredes is down, and Williams is down, and Razor Shines, as you see, playing first base and batting third, will step in. Shines, as Chuck pointed out earlier, is kind of a basic utility man. You need him here, you got him here. Just about that simple.
There's nothing Razor would want any more than another shot up in the major leagues. He was up a couple of years ago, if you remember, and then came up with that very severe injury, that knee injury. And as is so typical with parent clubs, something like that happens, you become doubtful. And so they didn't want to take any chances after his rehabilitation, and they released him. The Indians picked him up, and this is where he is, and he just wants to earn his way back.
John's hitting .292 coming into this ball game tonight. 14 hits and 48 at-bats. He didn't get very many ball games last year. He was having some, to be honest, some contractual
Look
problems.
out.
Fly ball, right center. That baby is going to be out of here, I believe. It's gone. Now, wait a minute. Apparently it caught the top of the wall. Shines is still moving. I thought it hit the sign out there. It'll be a triple. We may get a chance to look at that again. It's really difficult from our vantage point to see the ball when it gets to that part of the ballpark. That is where Palmeiro hit his for the Iowa Cubs, only this was about, I don't know, almost to the 405 mark out there. Boy, he got a chunk of this baby.
Yeah, it was just a little bit too high. If this does indeed catch the wall and not the sign, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. Yep, it catches the wall. So that's a big triple, but Razor's on third, 2 outs. Here's Billy Moore.
Well, of course, Billy Moore is the guy who drove in that winning run in the championship game here at Busch Stadium last year that allowed the Tribe to win the American Association pennant. Billy Moore coming into the ball game hitting .254. For Shines, that is his first triple of the season. First hit of the ball game for the Indians also. 3 balls and no strikes. Shines down at Shines at the plate and Shines down at third. Moore at the plate, and Jeff Reynolds is on deck. 3 ball and no strike count. Billy Moore playing right field. Automatic 3-1. Well, Darren Jackson did a good job getting that ball back in, because I thought for a moment that if it wasn't out of here, that Shines might try for the inside the park. He's got some pretty good speed. Foul tip. Caught the umpire, and now the count is full of 3-2.
Well, you can hear that. Let's watch again. This is why they wear masks, folks.
Oh, it caught the catcher. I thought it caught the umpire. Damon Berryhill.
Dr. Jack Lear would like that one if no mask is being worn.
He could retire.
Sure could.
Off about one game.
An entire dental work.
Billy Moore, the right fielder, hitting .254. Ground ball to short.
Easy hop.
The throw to Stevenson, and that's it. Well, the triple by Razor Shines goes to waste. So the Indians get no runs on one hit, no errors, one man left. We go to the top half of the second inning. It's still the Iowa Cubs out in front by a score of 4-0.
Well, when Iowa comes to bat, it's going to be the top of the order again. Gary Varsho, Phil Stevenson, and Rafael Palmeiro. Every Sunday at Busch Stadium this season is Souvenir Sunday, and that means the first 1,200 fans through the gates will receive a great Indian souvenir. Now, this Sunday's game with Iowa is going to be Pepsi Indians Jacket Day. The first 1,200 fans will receive an Indians vinyl jacket, courtesy of Pepsi-Cola. The gates, incidentally, open at 12:30. Souvenir Sundays at Busch Stadium. It's another great way to enjoy Indianapolis Indians baseball.
There's the bunt. This is going to be trouble for the second baseman, and it'll go as a base hit. Paredes got in there in a hurry. That's just about as good as you can bunt a ball. I'm not sure he aimed to put it over the pitcher's head, but it's in a perfect position. It'll go down as a single. That's the second hit for Varsho.
Well, let's look at it again. He probably was trying to lay this ball down. Instead, gets under it just a little bit, but he couldn't have put it in better position. Paredes tried to make a fielding move on that, fielding with his right hand in the throw, but held up the throw.
We are very much aware, by the way, that the Indiana Pacers are playing the Atlanta Hawks tonight, and we're going to do our darndest to keep you abreast of that ball game. And at the end of the first quarter, our executive producer, Mike Davis, tells us that the Pacers have a 20-16 lead. Here's the fake bunt. There's the throw to second. It's off the mark and backed up beautifully by Luis Rivera.
Rivera makes the gem of the evening so far, or that ball is through for extra bases on the overthrow.
Yeah, 'cause I think he had it stolen anyway, Chuck. We'll look at it again here.
Okay, take a good look. Tejada with the throw, and it's back to the second base side of the bag where it should be, but it's a little bit low. They'd have had him.
Varsho leads his ball club in stolen bases, Chuck. He had 4 coming in. He stole in the first inning, and he stole again here in the second inning. So he's added 2 to his totals. He's a half a dozen up in the stolen base category now. Good speed.
Wouldn't that be something if the Pacers win this game and send it back down to Atlanta?
Marvelous. Because they should have won the ball game down there on Sunday.
Exactly, that 1-point loss. Wasn't that something?
So we'll keep you abreast of that ball game. It's 20-16 the Pacers over Atlanta at the end of the first quarter. That would be great. If they do play, it'll be on Sunday. There's the pickoff play to second. It is close.
They got it. Yes, sir. Great move. There's one of those hookups. Nochi gets the sign from the catcher. Watch this. And there's the wheel and the throw. Heredia.
Oh, he got it.
It's right on the money. Look at that. That is just a great throw. So
that eliminates Mr. Varsho with the base pass in a hurry. It's a timing situation. There is a communication between the pitcher and the shortstop, however it gets there, and it's a count situation. It's a 1-2 wheel and go, because the shortstop has got to let the pitcher know he's going to second base, or you've got a gigantic hole in the left side of your infield, and they worked that one beautifully. Pitch is high, and the count is now 3-1. Luis Rivera, he has been around for a while. He started the season up with the Montreal Expos, came back down to the Tribe on Sunday, and he has proved his value. Pitch on the outside corner. Now the count goes to 3-2. That might be, Chuck, what Heredia needs to kind of get him moving here a little bit. He struck out 2 in the first inning, but that was somewhat deceiving. Here's the fly ball to left field. Dallas Williams goes back and gets it. That ball is traveling pretty well tonight. That baby again was sliced to left field, and Williams played it beautifully. So it's 2 up and 2 down in effect after Varsho's single on the bunt. He was picked off at second base, and now Rafael Palmeiro will come to the plate. He doubled and scored. He's the guy that hit the right at the 350 mark in the right center field in the first inning. Iowa now with 6 hits in this ball game. Pitch is high and away.
I'm sure Joe Sparks and Tomlin are talking to Heredia, trying to help him get that ball down. Just about every pitch he's made. Oh, look out. Here's one slicing down the line.
Oh.
Foul ball. That was close. So Palmero will come back and try it again. But, you know, the pitching coach will sit over there in the dugout and he'll view the pitcher's mannerisms off the mound. If the pitcher is consistently high, there can be a flaw in the step or a flaw in the position of the hand at release. And he'll take the opportunity to call him back over and after the inning's over and talk to him about it. And then in the warm-ups, hopefully, the pitcher can make the changes.
It is indeed a learning process. These are the minor leagues, though it's a AAA level, and the next notch is the majors. It is a learning process. Again, a fly ball slicing to left field. Williams going back. It's over his head, and it's up against the scoreboard, and it'll be a double for Palmero, his second double of this ball game. Now, I'll tell you what, they're hitting Mr. Heredia pretty good right now.
Let's look at this again. This is sliced out to left center. Palmero he gets good wood on the ball. That was right in the strike zone, and this is an example when Heredia is trying to get the ball over the plate. The only way he can do it is to put it right in the heart of the plate. And in that particular case, Palmero with the big bat and off the board for his second double of the evening.
So runner down at second base. Yeah, the pitch is high to Wade Rowden. Rowden singled to right and scored in the first inning. He scored the fourth run in that first inning, as a matter of fact. Rowden with 16 hits and 48 at-bats. Fly ball to center field, and Shepard is there, and that's it. Well, it was a struggle, but the fly to center field gets the Indianapolis Indians out of that second inning. No runs on a couple of hits. A runner left. We go to the bottom half of the second inning, and it's still 4-0 the Iowa Cubs.
Fans, please turn to page 11 in your souvenir program for the Lucky 8 drawing. The winner will receive a gift ticket good for...
Bottom half of the second inning, Jeff Reynolds, Ron Shepard, and Luis Rivera. The first three hitters for the Indianapolis Indians. Only hit on the board so far for the Tribe tonight is that strong triple by Razor Shines, and they left him stranded at third. So there's your line score.
Reynolds, the third baseman, our first chance to see him this evening. 27, 6'1", 195. Jeff has scored 12 runs, has 21 hits, batting .323, and 12 RBIs. So he's been pretty productive at the plate.
The line score showing 6 hits for Iowa. Chuck and I show him with 7. Can't imagine what they gave Varsho. They had to give him a hit on that little bunt. And then Palmero with a double to left field. And we'll double check that for you.
Well, while you're watching this, let me run down if I can.
Okay. We'll
Varsho single. Stevens walked. Palmero doubled. Rowden singled to right. Quinones singled to right. Berryhill singled off the pitcher.
It's 5 hits in the first inning.
Okay. And then in the second inning, we have Varsho with the bunt single and Palmero with a double.
Yeah, that's 7 anyway you count them. I don't know where the 6 have come from. We'll double check it for you. Fly ball right field. If it stays fair, it's big trouble. He'll never get there. It's a foul ball. Foul ball. Reynolds hit it hard. No way in the world that Varsho would have gotten there, and that would have been for extra bases. Reynolds, the third baseman, hitting .319 with 3 homers, a dozen RBIs. .4-0 baseball game with the Iowa Cubs out in front. They got all 4 runs in the first inning.
Jerry, this is an excellent crowd here this evening.
It is.
The camera gets a chance to can pan the stands. I'd say pretty close to 8,000 or so.
Just a little bit off of it, and Reynolds goes down swinging. It is WTTV, Channel 4 night at the ballpark tonight. A lot of pregame action with a softball hitting contest. Some of the local radio celebrities were involved. Some presentations. You presented the championship trophy to Joe Sparks. And also made a presentation to
Paredes.
Johnny Paredes. Paredes, yes. Here is Shepard. Oh, sharply hit ball. It could be for extra bases. It got by. Rowden at third. Digging for second base is Shepard. A stand-up double. Well hit ball by Ron Shepard. And for Shepard, that's his 4th double of the year. And he becomes only the 2nd base runner for the Indians. And both have reached scoring position. Here's a take a look at it again here.
Well, this is after it's past the third baseman, but you can see right down the line. Now, that ball had continued to curl down the line, that would have presented even more of a problem for the left fielder, Palmeiro. As it was, a big double, and Shepard on second. And this high pop-up.
Major league pop-up out towards second. Paul Noce has his beat on it. 2 gone. Luis Rivera popped to short. And that'll bring up Wilfredo Tejada. So the Indians have gotten both their base runners on in scoring position and couldn't do anything with it.
Noce right under the ball. A fundamental technique, following the ball right into the glove, and easy out.
Shot it from our center field camera, looking right over the shoulder, of course, of Ron Shepard with that strong double down the left field line. Bottom half of the second, 4-0 baseball game. The Iowa Cubs out in front. They got them all 4 in a hurry in the first inning. Right back to the pitcher. First base, that's it. So the Indians again leave a runner stranded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, man left on base. We go to the top half of the third. The Iowa Cubs still out in front by a 4-0 score. There was a nice article in the paper this week on an umpire. Rarely do they get much ink, Chuck, but this particular umpire is going to get some ink because that is a lady umpiring at first base. That is Pam Postma. A lonely world it's got to be when you're an umpire, but when you're a lady umpire, you are really out there by yourself.
Well, I understand she draws a lot of respect from both players and fellow umpires. She does an excellent job. They say she's very good at being in the proper position to make the call. She shows, you know, the adult knowledge of being able to handle the game, the veteran knowledge, plus the fact she's very authoritative with the call too, so they have no gripes.
She's working first base tonight, and yes, she does rotate just like the rest of the umpires. She'll go behind the plate. Here's the first pitch into Luis Quinones. It's inside. Gary Cederstrom is the home plate umpire. Pam is down at first. Jack Ojo is at second, and Zach Bevington is the third base umpire for tonight's game. Indians trying to work their way out of a 4-0 deficit. Defensively now, there's the fly ball to right field. Moore in a hurry. It'll fall in for a base hit. So Luis Quinones has his second hit of the ball game. They have both been singles to right field. And Damon Berryhill, we got that little infield single in the first inning, will step to the plate now.
Well, they have hit Heredia very well tonight. Very consistently. They came up with 5 big hits in the first inning and 4 runs. And then there were 2 hits in the second inning, and now leading off the third, Quinones, is Berryhill with a single in the first inning, steps to the plate.
Berryhill, 10 of 41 coming into the ball game, has added another hit at another at bat. He was at the infield single. Here's the fly ball foul down the third base line, back on the roof here at Busch Stadium.
Now, Jerry Iowa has apparently found a big flaw in Heredia's delivery, because every time they get a runner on first base with second unoccupied, they are breaking on the pitch. Let's watch this. This is a hit and run, or a run and hit in this case, but he is well down the line. And that particular case, Berryhill protecting the plate, fouling it away. But they have broken on the first pitch. Varsho 2 times now.
In fact, Varsho has 2 stolen bases. They picked him off the second time he was down there, though. Runner at first. No ball and 2 strike count. Nobody out. Top half of the third inning. There's a throw to first base. The Indians got off on a real bad trek in the first inning, as the first 4 batters scored. Single, walk, double, single, 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 before finally Heredia settled down and struck out Noche and Jackson, and then got Davidson to ground back to him. In fact, the Indians at one point had a pitcher warming up down in the bullpen down the third base line. That has since, of course, ceased. And there's the first out of the third inning. Berryhill down on strikes, and Noche is in there.
Next batter, number 2, Paul Noche.
3 strikeouts now for Heredia. If you're Cincinnati Reds fans, the Reds out in front of Philadelphia 5-4 in the 5th inning. And as Chuck pointed out earlier, one final score in today. It was Chicago coming from behind to beat San Diego by is it 7-5 or 6?
7-5.
7-5. Throw to first, close again. Chuck pointed out in the first inning that Heredia's got a pretty good move to first base. And obviously a pretty good move to second because they picked Varsho off down there. Ball 1. Outside corner, he was accounted 1-1.
Well, if you are not at the Pacer game tonight and you're not out here at the ballpark, you're watching at home, you are missing one beautiful evening.
It's always nice at the ballpark, but it's really nice when the weather's this nice.
Oh, this is great.
You had a chance, come out and watch the Tribe play this year. It's a marvelous place to spend an evening, and bring the gang along because you're not going to bust your pocketbook when you come out here.
Still the most economical sports venture there is.
And the Indians have done a lot of physical work this year down in the entryway area. It's better lighted. It just has a fresher feeling about it. So if you were out here last year, come on out this year because things are better than they have been. Some new concession areas. Here's the pitch, caught the inside corner. It's a 2-ball, and
well, they do an excellent job of keeping this place up. And a little comment, they keep this place a lot cleaner than I do my golf clubs.
Or your garage or anything else.
Garage,
yes.
That's right.
It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, they'll play the Pan Am games. We'll use this facility also this year. Chuck, when the Pan American games get here.
Right to him.
Could be the double play, and they've got him.
Yes, sir.
The line drive off Noche's bat went down to third base. Reynolds was there. Threw to Razor Shines, and they doubled him up. So some good defense is keeping the Indians in the ballgame. We'll take one more look at it here. First double play. Here's the pitch. There's the line drive. Reynolds has got it at third. Quickly Shines back to first base as Quinones tries to get in there. Does not make it, and that's it. So the Indians again give up a hit, but no runs scored in the inning. We go now to the bottom half of the third. Iowa Cubs lead the Indianapolis Indians 4-0.
Well, there's a good look at the crowd, and that little wet spot you see down there in front of the first base dugout is where they have watered the grass. But I'll tell you, I'd love to have a lawn that looks as nice as.
I thought that's where you were hitting infield practice and sweating profusely.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, this is a nice lawn. The groundskeeper here does a marvelous job. Always has. It's WTTV Channel 4 out of the old ballpark, and here's the first look at Ubaldo Heredia. His first trip to the plate. He is the starting pitcher, and to be quite honest, there's a really good chance he might not have been around to come to the plate in this ball game because he did nothing spectacular to keep himself in the ball game in that first inning when he allowed the Iowa Cubs to come up with 4 runs. And that's how the ball game stands at the bottom half of the third, 4-0.
Davidson appears to be showing a little bit more strength out there on the mound. Tries to hit the corner with this one, counting it.
That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chuck mentioned that.
That's what I said.
Pepsi Indians jacket day. Did you get your jacket?
Yes.
Cal Burleson brought one by for you, and I tried it on. It was my size, so I got it with you. 1 ball and 2 strike count remains. First 1,200 fans that get to the ballpark on Sunday. It's a 2 o'clock game, by the way, with the Iowa Cubs still here. We'll get the Pepsi Indians jacket windbreaker. Nobody out. Bottom half of the third inning. Pop up, that's a big one. That is a giant pop up. That is Rowden at third base. 1 gone. Now we go back to the top of the order. Johnny Paredes, who grounded to third to open up the ball game, so he's over 1. The Indians have gotten a hit in each inning, but have not been able to put anybody across the plate on the outside corner. Always interesting, Chuck. Here's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and he's gone. Interesting to see, you know, a guy like Dallas Williams, Razor Shines, Billy Moore, we know their names, and suddenly out of nowhere comes a Johnny Parede, shall we say, or Ron Shepard, or what have you. The minor league system does work in baseball. Another sport, I guess, hockey has it to a certain degree, but even then they're using a college system or they have a minor league system, but you just don't. Seldom do you get a chance to go right to the top of the heap. You got to work your way up, and that's the reason some of these names come up and grab you like this once in a while.
Well, the abundance of athletes that play baseball as compared to the athletes who play, let's say, football or basketball, and the opportunities they have. You talk different languages when you're talking about a baseball player and the opportunities he has, and the opportunity maybe a basketball player has of playing in the NBA. But you're right, and I think you touched upon it as we follow this ball.
Williams, fly ball to center field and pulled out by Darren Jackson. We'll continue your thought, Chuck, in a minute. Quickly, 3 up and 3 down. We go now to the top half of the 4th inning of play. The Indianapolis defense is working, but the Iowa Cubs are still out in front by a 4-0 score.
License plate number 49F, 2300. You need to move your car. It's blocking lane in traffic. It's a blue Buick Sky.
We're back at the ballpark. It's a 4-0 baseball game. The Iowa Cubs are out in front. We're in the top half of the 4th inning, and Howard Kelman, who's been a longtime radio voice of the Indianapolis Indians, has joined us here in the booth. Howard, I hope you brought a little luck with you, my friend.
I brought the pencils in the scorebook, and I hope the luck comes along as well.
I certainly do, too. Along with Chuck Marlowe, this is Jerry Baker. Now Howard Kelman joins us. They check with the first base umpire and wanting that strike and not going to get it. It's a 1-ball, no strike count. As we head into the top half of the 4th inning, and it's Darren Jackson to be followed by Jackie Davidson and Gary Varsho. Ubaldo Heredia got himself in a big bunch of trouble early in this ball game, Howard, and he has gotten better, I think, as the game has progressed, but he has really struggled out there.
Well, it's true, Jerry. He didn't have his good location. Wasn't putting the ball where he wanted to. He only walked one batter in that inning, but he was wild in the strike zone.
Yeah, they hit him pretty solid. 2 balls and no strikes. Pop up, heading out toward left field. Shortstop Rivera is out. Williams is also out and calls him off. And Williams takes the fly ball.
It's another example of how you never can figure out baseball. Here the Indians are well rested. They played yesterday afternoon. They took batting practice before the game. Iowa did not take batting practice before the ball game. Iowa had a long travel day. Flew from Buffalo to Chicago, had a 2.5-hour layover in Chicago, got in here with a long day, comes out and scores 4 runs in the opening inning.
Yeah, they also had some lousy weather, I understand, in Buffalo. As you look at Jackie Davidson at the plate, we were talking to the radio play-by-play man. He said they were delighted to be here. Summertime here.
The Indians have been very fortunate. They haven't been rained out as yet at home or on the road. Iowa's had 4 postponements.
That's the reason they've only played 14 ball games so far. The Tribe has played 19. No ball and 2-strike count. Jackie Davidson grounded back to the pitcher for the 3rd out in the 1st inning. He's the pitcher for the Cubbies.
Very good prospect. Their #1 pick in 1983, the 6th player overall taken in the draft, and they're real high on him.
Well, he has done a number on the Indians so far tonight. He's allowed a couple of hits. Yeah, they chased up on him and got him chasing what could have been a ball. So 2 gone. Chuck, the ball game has settled into a pretty smooth affair once we got past that rocky 1st inning.
Well, I'll say that, and I'll agree with you after we get this guy out. Varsho with 2 doubles. He was picked off, however, on second base on that great throw from Heredia. But nonetheless, Varsho has really been a thorn in the side. He's gotten it going every time for the Iowa Cubs.
This guy as good as he appears to be, Howard?
Well, this is the first time I've seen him, too. I'm impressed with his aggressiveness, that's for sure.
Oh, he is aggressive, that's for sure. Back to the pitcher. Top gets by him. Here's the shortstop. Rivera's not going to be able to make the throw.
Ball just rolled up his arm.
It'll be a hit.
You know, when we look back at that 1st inning, Varsho, of course, led off with a single, and he stole second. Tejada had time to get him. Had his throw been on the money, they would have gotten him. It was a high throw, and you never know what might have happened had there been one out and no one on. The complexion of the inning could have changed.
It really could have. It could have gotten Heredia's confidence back, if you will, in a hurry. Chuck pointed out something also. Howard, maybe you've seen Heredia pitch more than we have, obviously. Varsho has stolen 2 bases off of him. Has he got a hitch in his stretch that's giving Varsho a time to get an extra couple of steps or something?
Well, I think, I'll tell you after this pitch.
Well, he pitched out.
Yeah, but he shortened his pitching stroke.
Right. They've worked on him just with that point about shortening his delivery and his time to the plate. What he did there is what's known as the slide step. He just kicked out quickly and threw the ball. But they have worked on him with that.
And there goes Varsho again. The throw is on the money. They got it. That is a great throw by Wilfredo Tejada. So I don't care how fast you are, that arm of Tejada's is going to chop you down. Well, they get another hit in the inning. We'll take a look at it again here, Chuck.
Well, this is a great throw. 2 pitch outs in a row, and I don't think Varsho expected that. Paredes comes over, covers the bag. There's the ball, just waiting, and an easy tag.
All right, we're going to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The Indians need some offense. They are down by a score of 4-0 to the Iowa Cubs.
They've got a terrific batting average to beat that delivery. On an average day, they'll deliver 5,000 pizzas, hot, fast, and free. You only have to remember what...
Bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be Razor Shines, Billy Moore, Jeff Reynolds as the Indians come to bat, 4 runs down. And an opportunity with some strength at the plate now to maybe get something going, Howard.
I'll tell you, Razor Shines leading off. Now, you 2 gentlemen have been in this state longer than I have. I've been here 12 years, but Razor by far is the most popular player in the years that I've been here.
Over the years, it seems like on every ball club, there is 1 or maybe 2 players that the crowd somehow almost adopts, and he fits that role beautifully. And Chuck and I were talking earlier, Howard, that Razor is the kind of, you love to have a guy like him on the ball club because he can play almost any position you got out there.
Absolutely, and his defense is often overlooked. He is a very good fielding first baseman.
Good play by the pitcher, Davidson, and he'll go 3 unassisted. He just got a small piece of that ball.
And the one thing about Razor, he is a very, very positive force, takes a positive attitude, and you want certain people like that on your club who pick up other people, and when you're with the club on a daily basis, you really feel that.
How about Billy Moore? He had, of course, that big hit that won the Tribe the championship last year. Any disappointment on his part that he wasn't taken up to the bigs?
I think so, but he admitted that he pressed in spring training. Didn't have a good spring, and he feels he really has to relax and just stay within himself, and he feels he's doing that now.
Mike Davis, our executive producer, hands me a note again, Chuck. Atlanta's got a 2-point lead over the Pacers at halftime, 43-41. And that's not all that bad if the Pacers can stay that close.
I was going to say, that's not really a bad position to be in.
A 2-ball, no strike count now on Billy Moore, the right fielder. It gets by Gary Varsho. That'll go for extra bases. Heading down to second. He'll go to third. This will be the 3rd triple of the ball game. Shines had 1. Now Moore's got 1.
That's a situation where Varsho decides to gamble, knowing what may happen. And with 1 out, there's nothing wrong with gambling there and nobody on, but he didn't make the play.
3rd triple of the year for Billy Moore. Yeah, you really have to wonder about a situation like that, Howard. I think your assessment is correct. Nothing happens if you don't make the play. Chuck?
Well, this ball is sliced, and it's falling away from the right fielder, and there it is. Howard said it exactly right. He made the dive, made the gamble, and it appeared he was about 2 feet short of that ball.
I don't think he ever had a shot at that thing.
No. This is Reynolds, struck out in the 2nd inning.
The Indians could use something on the board. Down at 3rd is Billy Moore. Davidson delivers.
Unusual upright stance that Reynolds takes there at the plate. Holds the bat almost vertically. Is it Mark or Jeff Reynolds?
Jeff Reynolds, and when you heard, you're raising a good point about the way he holds his hands, Chuck.
Now he has found out of this position and standing with his feet very close together, a narrow stance. Most players are taught to stand with at least a shoulder, maybe a little bit wider spread of the feet. But he has found out of this position that as he kicks his pitching foot, which is the that hitting. But he kicks the forward foot. When he makes that step, he lowers the bat. He gets into a better hitting position.
More of your power hitters hold the bat straight up the way he does, where you have your bat flattened as he's hit with the pitch ball there. The ball just ran in on him.
Yeah, it did.
So incidentally, a bit of trivia. Howard may know it, and Jerry may too, as we watch Shepard step in here. You know who holds the all-time record for RBIs in the Major League?
Hack Wilson, 190.
Next question.
Who's number 2?
I believe it's Lou Gehrig with 184.
184.
Howard, don't play games with him. He loves to do this to people. You know, if you get one wrong, then you're a dummy. You know, you can get them all right. So ignore him, and he'll just sit there and be quiet after a while.
I just want to say something, Jerry. You're talking about the Pacers, and the Indians played an afternoon game Wednesday, and we want to thank Ray Compton and the Pacers staff. The Indians' whole team was out at the arena Wednesday night.
We were talking to some of them before the game, and they were talking about, they really got into that thing. They were talking about this and that happening during the contest. They enjoyed themselves, I believe.
They had a terrific time, and again, we express thanks to the Pacer organization.
Runners on first and third. Moore is down at third with a triple. Reynolds on at first, hit by the pitch. 1 out. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Oh, what a base hit would do here by Shepard. Up the middle, hit it toward shortstop. Nochi. And they got 2. Just like that, they're out of the inning. So we got one more hit. No runs on 1 hit. No errors. A couple runners, well, 1 runner left on base. We go down to the top half of the 5th inning of play. Howard, your stay was short, my friend.
Yes, it was, but it was nice to see
you.
You
Already got the seat warm.
I'm going back to radio.
Go back to radio. Thanks for coming by. It's 4-0. The Iowa Cubs lead the Indianapolis Indians in the top half of the 5th.
Luis Rivera will lead it off for the Tribe, followed by Tejada and Heredia.
You love saying those, don't you?
Oh, I love those names. You know, when was it you saw me? Wednesday?
Yeah.
You said, have you phoned up on these names? I said, what names?
Oh, there are. And, of course, the Iowa club's got the same number of toughies also. We're talking to their radio broadcasters trying to get some pronunciations. It's not easy.
They will not be calling on me, folks, for translations during the Pan Am games.
Fake the bucket, Phil Stevenson. Stevenson, Rafael Palmeiro, Ray Rowden. Second, third, and fourth hitters in the Iowa Cubs batting order. In the top half of the 5th inning. Well, the Indians got something going in the bottom of the 4th. Runners at the corners with nobody, with 1 out. Thanks to Billy Moore's triple and Jeff Reynolds on base being hit by the pitch. But a good quick 6-4-3 double play took care of that in a hurry.
We've been joined up here in the booth by Jeff Baird of Living Well. Nice to have you here.
Who's
nice
the guy
to
with
see
him?
you again. Well, he's big and strong, see? Who's the guy? Oh, it's that. What's his name?
He looks like he ought to be in sales.
He should.
You know?
I think he sure should be.
You don't see many suits that shine like that.
It was not made that way either, was it? Oh, Bernie, you're a good friend.
He'll be sliding. He's found out this other headset down here, the one that Howard usually works. He wants to put it on and help us out a little bit.
He could do this in French,
Sure
you know. He could do it in French.
It's going to be trouble because it's fair. It is about 15 or 20 feet fair. Williams chases it down. He'll go for extra bases. Stevenson pulls in at second. The throw comes back into the infield. And another extra base hit.
I had the Indianapolis at bat. That's my error. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jeff.
I was going to let that slide by.
Yeah, I know you were. Stevenson. Well, I forgot to turn my scorecard over.
I wasn't going to mention. I don't think anybody picked up on it. Here's that slicing double to left field.
I tell you, they've been getting a lot of hits like this off Heredia. Good wood on the ball, but slicing away, and
you know, they're not hitting him solid up because you're right. The shots, if you will, have been to the opposite field. So Heredia is not serving up a main course for these guys, but they're up there swinging the bat. Here is Rafael Palmeiro, the left fielder. He has 2 doubles. He doubled to right, doubled to left, and scored in the 1st inning. Well, Iowa's not playing like a 5-9 ball club tonight. They've got 10 hits already. Reaching out and trying to pull one was Palmeiro, and Heredia might have taken a little bit of something off that ball. Stevenson down at second with a leadoff double here in the top half of the 5th inning. The Indians last year were 80-62. Foul tip at home plate. First in the Eastern Division, 9 games ahead of Buffalo. Iowa was 74-68, second in the West, 2 games in back of Denver. And of course, there is no East and West, Chuck, this year. They went back to that single division.
one association.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the two-division setup. I like the competition between the two, but that's the way they did it this year.
Well, that's why you elect committees.
I guess.
To make changes.
Got him looking.
Yes, sir.
Pretty good heater on that one.
Palmeiro goes down for the first time tonight after 2 doubles and scoring 1. Varsho in the first inning. Take a look at this. This ball was just literally blown right past. Very late.
We were talking about trying to get the gang out to the ballpark. The Tribe will play Iowa again tomorrow night at 7:30. And then I got a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon game. They take Monday off. And they got a fly ball fouled on the right field end. They've got a 3-game series in Omaha on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then 1 week from tonight, they open up a 3-game set at Iowa, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then they're back in here on Monday, the 11th of May, against the Louisville Redbirds, the first of a 4-game series. You'll see them out of town a lot during the month of May, Chuck, quite simply because we're not that far from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and there's no way in the world to get a crowd in here when they get crowds going in out there. But that's tough. No ball and 1 strike count to Rowden. Ground ball to third. Jeff Reynolds got him. Good strong arm by Reynolds. 2 gone.
Quinones has had an interesting evening, too, as you look out at Stevenson on second base. Quinones with a single in the first inning, advancing to second on Berryhill's single, and singled in the third.
3 extra base hits for the Iowa Cubs. 2 of those by Rafael Palmeiro, doubles. Stevenson had the other one.
Good stop by Tejada there.
1 ball and no strikes. 2 men out. Top half of the 5th. And the Indians down 4-0 as the Iowa Cubs scored 4 runs in the first inning. The Indians so far with 3 hits. And oddly enough, all 3 of them.
Oh, boy.
Extra bases. Fly ball right field. Moore is there with plenty of room. It looked for a moment like there was going to be trouble. So the Iowa Cubs waste a leadoff double by Stevenson as Palmeiro, Rowden, and Quinones go down in order. We go down to the bottom half of the 5th inning. It's still a 4-0 baseball game with the Iowa Cubs out in front.
There you see the line score coming up now to the bottom of the 5th inning, and now we have Luis Rivera.
Why, these are the same people that you had starting off last inning.
How about that? Yeah, Wilfredo Tejada and Heredia, the pitcher.
See, if you just kept it quiet, they'd have never known, but you had to bring it up.
No, somebody would have known out there. I'm sure they did.
Trees and Bernie was up
saying,
here.
Hey, you know.
Wrong guy, wrong team. Rivera is 0 for 1. He popped to short for the second out back in the second inning. Luis Rivera.
I'd like to see Luis really crank one here.
Came back in here on Sunday. He was called up by Montreal after the Tribe season opener this year, and then was optioned back on Sunday night. .23 years old, 5'10", 160-pounder. Hitting .417 in his brief stint here. Up the middle, second baseman goes to get it. Here's the throw by Quinones, and they got him. And let's see if Davidson's all right. I don't know if the ball got him, Chuck, or if he may have tripped trying to pick up that ground ball up the middle. It'll go 4-3 for the putout, and they're out now taking a look at Jackie Davidson. Let's look at it again. Jerry Wheatley, our director's got it for us.
Let's see if we can see this.
It got him, I believe.
Right off the knee.
So he'll get an assist on the play. It'll go 1-4-3.
And that's a good call. The fans booed the first base umpire a little bit, but she made a good call.
Some nights when it doesn't go right, it really doesn't go right for you. And there's a case where if perhaps Davidson doesn't get a hip on the ball, it might go up the middle for a base hit. But it's just not working that way tonight. Well, let's see if that...
He seems to be all right.
Yeah, see if that ball has any effect on Davidson. He has been tough. He's allowed only 3 hits. The Tribe has struck out 1. The Tribe has left 3 runners on base. Tejada at the plate takes a strike on the first pitch to him. Wilfredo Tejada, 0 for 1, grounded back to the pitcher, the third out in the second inning. 1-1.
Davidson's had pretty good control. He hadn't walked anybody.
1 ball and a 2-strike count.
Take it back. No, that's right. He hadn't walked anybody. He was looking over there. I thought
we were missing check. All 3 of the hits have been for extra bases. Shines has a triple, Shepard a double, and Billy Moore a triple. So they've hit him hard when they hit him, but they just haven't hit him very much. Foul tip at the plate, and new line for Wilfredo Tejada, the catcher. Defensively, Palmeiro, Jackson, and Varsho in the outfield for the Cubbies. Rodden at third, Noche at short, Quinones at second, and Stevenson at first, at Berryhill behind the plate. Yeah, this time a foul tip, and he hangs on. It's a strikeout. So Heredia will come to the plate. Ubaldo Heredia.
Next batter for Indianapolis, number 36, the pitcher, Ubaldo.
Heredia is from Caracas, Venezuela.
it's a good place to be from.
Yeah. He's also 0 for 1 at the plate tonight as he popped to third.
Yes, that's some really pretty country down there.
I haven't been there recently.
But I wouldn't. I don't think I'd want to go there right now.
I'm happy just to stay where I am, right here. No ball and 1-strike count. Bottom half of the 5th inning. Out the outside corner. Good-sized crowd on hand for WTTV Channel 4 night tonight, and they're not liking what they're seeing so far, other than just enjoying the great American pastime of baseball. Ground ball to second base. Quinones to Stevenson, and that's it. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, hits, no errors. Nobody left. We go now to the top half of the 6th inning of play, and Iowa's making it look easy so far. They lead the Indianapolis Indians 4-0. Cal Burleson gave us a note here. Check, the Indians have available a 22-minute highlights tape of their 1986 championship season. It's entitled Indianapolis Indians 1986. It was magic. Spotlighting the Tribe's championship. It's available on half-inch VCR videotape. There's no charge for the use of the tape. It must be picked up at and returned to Busch Stadium. Reservations for the tape's use may be made by calling Busch Stadium at 632-5371. Be a nice film to have for our program sometime.
We got a fast game going here. We're coming up to the top of the 6th inning. Berryhill followed by Noche, Jackson, and Davidson to complete the batting order, and then back to the top again.
And again, trying to keep you abreast of the Indiana Pacers Atlanta Hawks game. It was Atlanta 43, the Pacers 41 at halftime in the all-important 4th game of that series. Of course, if the Pacers win it, they go back down to Atlanta for Game 5 on Sunday. If Atlanta wins, it's all over. And Chuck and I were both in agreement that I like being within 2 points of that ball club at halftime, because that home court's got to be worth something down there. A 1 ball and no strike count. This one is low and inside.
Especially if the crowd is anything like it was a couple of nights ago. I tell you, that was a college crowd a couple of nights ago.
That's what everybody said about the thing. Yeah, that's super. A 2 ball and no strike count. Damon Berryhill, the catcher, is at the plate for the Iowa Cubs. He is 1 for 2. Got that little infield single in the 1st inning and struck out looking in the 3rd. This is high and away, and it's 3-0.
Heredia has had a lot of trouble getting the ball down tonight, and the last couple of pitches have been outside the strike zone. That was right across the outside corner there, so he's able to work it in. 3-1.
Back into the press box area, up on the roof again, and now the count goes full at 3-2. Ubaldo Heredia from Venezuela, from Caracas, and he started the ball game, got himself in deep trouble in the 1st inning, allowing 4 runs on 5 hits, and they left 2 runners on base. And here's ball 4. think, Chuck, that's only it's just his second walk, so his control has not been all that bad. They just simply, they hit him hard in the first inning.
And they hit him everywhere.
And they hit him all over the ballpark. And then finally he kind of got things straightened away, struck out Noche and Jackson, the 7 and 8 hitters in the order, then got the pitcher Jackie Davidson on a bounce back to the pitcher. And left 2 runners on base. Fly ball, center field. Ron Shepard's on his horse. Shepard's got room, makes the catch, and another well-hit baseball. So 1 gone in the top half of the 6th inning.
Once again, good wood on the ball. Noche just rifles this one right out to center field where Shepard camps underneath it. And Barry Hill scampers back to first.
Darren Jackson's 0 for 2. Struck out swinging in the first. Fly to left in the 4th. Takes a strike. No ball and 1 strike count. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the Montreal Expos finally do get their house in order. If somebody is turned loose up there, and of course a logical place to send him is on down into your minor league system. See if any changes in the Indians roster. I swear that Philadelphia-Cincinnati score has been the same, Chuck, since we got here out there. Shows it 5-4 Cincinnati in the 5th. I don't know if they've had some weather problems or what over there, but it hasn't moved. Cubbies winning this afternoon, as Chuck pointed out, 7-5 after a good, strong comeback. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Darren Jackson, the center fielder. Changed up on him, missed the outside corner, low and away.
Now Heredia once again out of this stretch is taking a long, long time over there. Barry Hill probably not too quick, or he'd have been off and running. Watch Heredia again. Count is run out to 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. 2-2.
Changed up on him and got him swinging. 2 gone. Barry Hill still down at first. Jackie Davidson comes to the plate, starting pitcher for the Iowa Cubs today. Davidson has had no success at all against Heredia. Bounced back to the pitcher for the 3rd and final and long awaited out in the 1st inning, and then struck out swinging in the 4th. Iowa's left 4 runners on base, 2 of those in the 1st inning. And some people going to work down to the Iowa Cubs bullpen down the first base line. To Tom Layton, right-handed pitcher. Can't imagine why they want to take Davidson out of there, Chuck, unless they just wanted to get him 5 or 6 innings of work and let him sit down for a while. Pop up down towards short. Rivera takes care of that, so the leadoff walk did no harm. As in Noche, Jackson, and Davidson go down 1-2-3. We're set to move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Still waiting for the guns to explode for the Indianapolis Indians. They trail by a score of 4-0. With Chuck Barlow, this is Jerry Baker. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning of play. It's been a quick-moving ball game, as Chuck mentioned earlier, but not particularly a happy one for the Indianapolis Indians. They trail by a 4-0 score on WTTV Channel 4 night out at Busch Stadium. And for the Indians now, in the bottom of the 6th inning, they'll go back to the top of the order. Johnny Paredes, Dallas Williams, and Razor Shines. And Chuck, we got to get some kind of output out of those guys up at the top of the hitting order. They only got 1 hit amongst them there.
Well, that seems to be the secret to the success of Iowa tonight, obviously, is keeping Indianapolis off the base paths. first time up, the Indians were able to get one man on. That was Shines. He tripled. And from then on, it's been just sort of whitewash.
It really has. Paredes is not having any success against the wheeling and dealing of Jackie Davidson. He grounded to third in the first inning and then grounded back to the pitcher in the third, so he's 0 for 2. Two balls and no strikes on Paredes. Coming into the ball game hitting .347, 26 hits and 75 at bats. But a dozen RBIs. He's had no chance to do anything RBI-wise. Now he's never been at the plate with anybody on in front of him. And it's 3-0. They're still warming up a relief pitcher down the first base line, so I don't know if Davidson gets in any kind of trouble. They got a guy ready to go. There's a pitch on the outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike. The Indians home tomorrow night at 7:30. Iowa's again in town, then a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon affair, and that's a special day. Here's the ball low and away, and another base runner. Paredes on first for the first time. Now Dallas Williams will come to the plate. Dallas was the first pick by the Baltimore Orioles in the 1976 June draft. He was number 20 overall. Last year, hit .289 in 124 games for the Indianapolis Indians, and now calls Indianapolis home. You were talking, Chuck, about the physical attributes of this guy.
No, he's a solid young man. I mean, he keeps himself in excellent condition. You hit upon something else, too. He really loves Indianapolis. He loves the people around here. He wants to give everything he can all the time back to the game that has given him such a wonderful home.
He's a 29-year-old outfielder. He's made a couple of good catches defensively in left field also, Chuck, because a couple of the fly balls he had to chase down, he made them look easy, but they were that slicing kind of fly ball that came off with reverse English, and he managed to make it just look real easy.
Well, his previous 2 times up at the plate, he's hit the ball out of the infield. He flied to left and flied to center. Left in the first and center in the third. So maybe he can get the wood on the ball here, and we can get a run around.
Paredes getting a bit of a lead down at first base. Here's the high pop-up again. Heading out is the shortstop, Nochi. He's got it, 1 gone. Well, not much of an output from the top 3 hitters in your batting order. Razor Shines really jammed one almost out of the ballpark in the first inning. It ended up being a triple, and I'd say, Chuck, it didn't miss going out of here by about 5 feet. It got the very top of that wall out in right center field. He really nailed that baby. So Shines is at the plate with 1 gone, and Johnny Paredes down at first base. In his second at bat, he grounded back to the first baseman. There's a fly ball, right center field. It hangs up in the air. Right fielder Gary Varsho was there. 2 gone.
Too many working fans in the stands tonight.
And so Billy Moore will come to the plate. He has one of the 3 hits for the Indians. That came in the 4th inning when he tripled to right field, and then was taken out in a double play. William Ross Moore, Billy Moore, lives out in West Covina, California.
That's a nice city, too.
Yeah, beats Caracas, wouldn't you think? Well, you don't know, though. Can't compare.
In July, I don't know. It gets a little hot in West Covina.
Moore led the American Association in hit by pitch last year, but 9. He was second in home runs with 23 and 4th in walks with 80. Go to first base. It's close again over there. He won the deciding game of the Association Championship Series with a 2-run single in the bottom of the 9th, giving the Indians a 5-4 win over Denver. He went up to the Expos July, made his debut the next night, July the 19th, in a pitch hitting role. and got his first major league hit on the 24th of July of last year over in Cincinnati. Now the crowd's starting to get into it just a little bit here. First time we're really hurting it, Chuck. You hear the hustle and bustle of the crowd, but they haven't really gotten into the ball game yet, as you can understand when you're down 4-0.
Well, we really don't have anyone in scoring position. Paredes has been stuck over there at first base, and they've tried 2, 3. I think this is the 4th pickoff move that Davidson has made.
A little surprised that Davidson's paying much attention to the runner at first base. Paredes, you got a 4-0 lead. You got some. Whoa, that's close. You got a guy warming up down there. I would think that they would just say, well, let's get the guy at the plate and not worry about the runner at first. But obviously that's.
Well, apparently they feel that Paredes is going to try to make this move. There are 2 outs. He's going to try to steal.
Oh, they may have him. They got him. Yeah, great move.
Yes, sir.
They picked him off. You could just see, and I think Chuck was right. It looked like Paredes wanted to get that little extra step, and Davidson just outweighted him. So another runner on base is taken off that base with your cleanup matter in the batting box. We'll take a look at it again. I don't know where we'll see it. Well, you can't see it from this angle, but you can almost check there, Chuck. He was leaning the other way. And that's a good call by Pam Postema, who's the lady up down at first. So we go to the top half of the 7th inning. The Iowa Cubs still out in front securely with a 4-0 lead. Chuck, we were talking earlier about how they try to avoid playing baseball up against the Indianapolis 500.
Well, we've
got one of the drivers in the booth with us tonight.
We've got one that's very important to us at Channel 4. He'll be driving for us. Actually not driving for us, but we're helping to sponsor his car. Ari Lyondike. Ari, it's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm having a lot of fun.
I hope you are. Is this relaxation to you?
Oh, tonight definitely is. It's only the 2nd ball game I've ever been to, and I was
it's got to be his fault then, Chuck. We're down 4-0.
Yeah.
Ari coming to his 2nd game.
You have to play somebody, I guess.
This is Bash at the plate. Am I correct? Yes, Barshow at the plate right now. Tell us a little bit about your car. What's the paradise here?
Well, I'm driving a March for Hamilton Racing, and we could say now that's great, thank you. There are a lot of fast drivers this year in top teams, Chevy, Ilmore, and quite a few are also using big engines like my teammate Rich Vogler. But we're still with the conventional Cosworth.
I know you developed a great relationship. There's a great camaraderie between you two now. Look at this, right up to
the base hit.
That's right, base hit.
Barshow has done a tattoo job on Heredia today. That is his 4th hit. He's 4 for 4.
Tell us a little bit about how you and Ron came to hook up, how you got in touch with each other.
Well, Profimi Field, my sponsor, the owner of Profimi Field, was also a car owner last year, and decided that that was really the way he wanted to continue. And we were looking for another team to go and get together with. And the first time I met Ron, it sort of gelled real fast, and we worked together nicely. And the deal was done within, I would say, 15 minutes. Ron, with his Living Well Fitness Centers, practices the same ideas as I do. He doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink, and I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I work out a lot. Ron doesn't work out a lot, I think, because he's too busy with the business.
So what's your excuse for not working out, Chuck?
Oh, I play too much golf.
Oh, get out of here.
That's a workout, too.
It's a 1-ball and no strike count. This is Phil Stevenson at the plate. The Iowa Cubs with the runner on first as Varsho picked up his 4th hit. He's singled in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, and now singled in the 7th. Now, on 2 occasions, he has stolen second base. And he likes to run, and we were talking earlier about how he's seen something that he likes in the delivery of Heredia, and he's got a good lead down at first. There he goes.
There it is.
Here's the throw by Tejada. They got him again. Great throw by Wilfredo Tejada. That's twice now, Chuck, that Wilfredo has really fired that ball down to second base.
Well, I think this time he tried to make the steal on the pitcher again, And Heredia's motion was just a little bit too quick. He got a good release on the ball. This time Tejada had the ball right on the money, right on the bag, and there's the tag.
I'm not so sure Tejada didn't throw him out on a curveball, too, because that's even tougher when the ball takes just that split second to get up there. Stevenson is still at the plate. Phil walked in the first and scored, then flied to left in the second and doubled to left in the 5th inning. He has one of the 11 hits that the Iowa Cubs have.
Ari, are you going to try to be on the track tomorrow?
Yes, we'll be running tomorrow. I have 2 cars, a primary car and a backup car. We will try both cars, and Rich Vogler and Scott Brayton, who are my teammates for this race, will be on the track too.
You said this is only the second baseball game you've seen. You have a hard time following the continuity of a game. You're used to soccer. That's your big sport, isn't it?
That's right, but baseball is pretty big in Holland, although a lot of people don't realize that.
Is that right?
We have a national team, and they've won quite a few European championships. A lot of American players go over to Holland and get neutralized, and then they become Dutchmen. So it's not really a full Dutch team. There's a lot of Americans there, too.
Why do I get the feeling that Ari probably would, even though it's only a second game, would have gotten the batting order correct a while ago?
Oh, he would have done that. Well, sure he would.
We're having a little inside joke here. Chuck had the wrong players batting a while ago. So
that's easy enough.
Stevenson going down looking.
I've had the wrong drivers in cars at times, too.
That is a bear, I'll guarantee you. I'd like to ask Ari a question. They're talking about speeds going up again this year from last year. Do you think that's probably true?
I think that the pole position will be a little faster than last year, but it will not be by a whole lot. I'd say 1 or 2 miles an hour.
They're saying some of the early talk that I heard was that they think the 4-lap record may be broken for qualifications, but maybe not the 1 lap. That there might be more consistencies in the running of the 4 laps.
That's very well possible, because this year we're running radial tires, and those are very consistent. They don't grow on you like the older cross-ply tires used to. They would become larger, or they would not become as large as you would want them. So
they were hoping to run on those last year, but then abandoned that idea right at the last, didn't they?
Yes, because they hadn't really fully tested them in 1985. They had quite a few blowouts in Michigan, so they didn't want to show up at the Indianapolis.
Blowout's a bad word in racing.
We don't. No, yeah, blowout with an engine is not too bad, but with a tire it gets you into trouble.
Rafael Palmeiro at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a double in the first and second, and went down swinging to lead off the 5th inning. So for the first out of the 5th inning. Ground ball down to second base. Paraday's over to first, and that's it. So the Tribe does pretty good in getting rid of the Iowa Cubs in the 7th inning. Now, Chuck, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. We'll do the same up here, and let's hope we can get some runs. It's a 4-0 baseball game. The Iowa Cubs lead the Indianapolis Indians. Well, if we hadn't had a special guest in the booth, Chuck, I was going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here, but I knew that Ari would not appreciate that, so I'll have to pass on that if we get to do another game.
They haven't invited us up to Wrigley Field to sub for Harry.
No, they have not, have they? Crowd of 7,558 on hand tonight. They got a nice 7th inning stretch on what is just a great night for baseball. And unfortunately, the Indians have let the crowd down to this point anyway, as they gave Iowa. No, we didn't give Iowa. Iowa got 4 runs in the first inning, and it's been 0 since that point in time. 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Iowa Cubs. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Indianapolis Indians.
And Jackie Davidson has just pitched a brilliant game. He's done an excellent job. He's scattered 3 hits and struck out 2. We're looking now at the plate. Billy Moore, Jeff Reynolds, and Ron Shepard. And they're still warming up a pitcher down that first base line down with the Iowa Cubs dugout. There's a pitch in the dirt. Now, I got a feeling maybe that they know something we don't know, Chuck, about Jackie Davidson. Larry Cox, the manager, might be saying, when this guy gets tired, he goes in a hurry. Some pitchers are like that. That's the first time we've seen any hint of a lack of control by Davidson. There's a ground ball to third. Rowden's got it. The long throw across the diamond. 1 gone. Jeff Reynolds is up. Well, I was just checking statistics on Davidson. He's pitched a little over 19 innings, 19 and to 2 other batters. He's given up 18 hits, 9 earned runs, 4 bases on balls, and 7 strikeouts. with an 0-3 record. So in 3 games, he has gone essentially a little over 6 innings per game.
Yeah, he has no complete games to his credit. And it looks like they're going to make the change right now, as a matter of fact. Larry Cox is now out on the mound. And the change will be made. And that's not who they originally had warming up down there. They had Tom Layton down there warming up. And I believe this is Mike Capel.
Let's get a good look at him.
I just caught the numbers. He was coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
19, Capel. He's 25 years old, 175 pounds, 6'2". He's pitched 12 innings, 0-1 record, given up 10 earned runs, 7 bases on balls, and struck out 9. He has an ERA of 7.50 with an 0-1 record. Capel, number 19. So Davidson leaves, scattering 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, pitches to 1 man in the 7th inning, Billy Moore, who grounds out 3rd to 1st.
So he allowed no runs, 3 hits, and walked only 1 pitcher in that 6th and the 3rd innings that he went. And again, I just got to believe that Larry Cox was saying, okay, we're going to let this guy go. He's got a 4-0 lead. We're going to let him go. And at the first sign of getting tired, because your statistics was well taken, he has not had a complete game, averaging about 6 innings per ball game that he's pitched. He went 6 in the 3rd tonight. Let's get him out of there and bring in the relief corps.
I think one of the other keys, and possibly as we look at him, and what he was doing out there, he maybe Jerry had passed his maximum as far as pitches was concerned.
In fact, that's probably more true than the number of innings, Jack. They're probably saying when he reaches 100 pitches, whatever it might be.
Trying to work him back in again. Right.
Here's a score from down at Market Square Arena. The Pacers have retaken the lead. After 3, they lead the Atlanta Hawks 73-72. This is the 4th game of the series. They're down 2 games to 1. You know, Chuck, back a century and a half ago when I was doing the broadcast for the Indiana Pacers, as Mark Reynolds.
That's Jeff Reynolds.
Jeff Reynolds, it should be, at the plate. When I was doing those games, as Reynolds has got a 1-ball and 2-strike count, we got in a series against Kentucky, a 7-game series, and got down 3 games to 1, and honestly felt at that time that the pressure was on the Kentucky Colonels because they had to win. We had no pressure on us as Reynolds goes down swinging. And I got to believe that maybe what's happening down there tonight. The Atlanta Hawks might be saying, oh, my goodness, because a 5th game of a series, no matter where you're playing it, is anybody's ball game. And I'll guarantee you, Atlanta doesn't want to have to go home and play the Pacers down there. They played well down in Atlanta.
Well, Jerry, I'll tell you something. They played some mind games with Tree Rollins the other night. But the other thing, and I think more significantly, they forced Atlanta to play a half-court game. And when they got them into a half-court game, they were able to get to the boards and play some pretty good defense. They played a good defensive board game. They got to the boards. That was the key.
Yeah, that was the key to the ball game.
They only allowed Atlanta 3 offensive boards. And when you can take Tree Rollins out of the game that much and make him think about himself a little bit, then you've looked a lot of the mass that's underneath there, because that guy causes a lot of trouble.
Ron Shepard hitting in the number 6 spot for the Indianapolis Indians.
Now let's just say go Pacers in this 4th quarter.
Outside, it's now 3 balls and no strikes. Shepard is make it 1 for 2. He doubled in the 2nd for one of the 3 hits by the Tribe. That was part of a double, 6-4-3 double play for the 3rd out in the 4th inning. And the automatic 3-1. It is Mike Capel now pitching for the Iowa Cubs. Jackie Davidson, 6 in the 3rd innings, did not allow a run. Gave up only 3 hits, walked only 1. He had good control. Going away. And a base runner. One of not very many the Indians have had tonight. Now Luis Rivera will come to the plate. He popped to short for the 2nd out in the 2nd inning. And there was part of a double play in the 5th. Well, I beg your pardon. That was the ground ball to shortstop.
That went off
that Davidson got got his hip on or something. And Chuck, that I think back now, maybe that play might have contributed also to Davidson leaving the ball game somewhat prematurely.
Well, I agree, and it could possibly be, but I tend to think more that he had just used up his allotment of pitches.
Iowa continuing to warm up a pitcher down in the bullpen. Here's the pitch outside. No ball and one strike, or one ball and no strikeout. And Berryhill will go out and have some conversation with the new man on the mound.
A good example of what we're talking about. I had the chance to talk to Pete Rose before the start of the season and ask him how they were going to bring Mario Soto on as he was recovering from his surgery. And he said he's going to let him develop at his own pace. This is back before spring training. He said he's going to let him come along if he feels like pitching fine. But he said when he gets into active duty time, they're just going to let him pitch to his confidence.
That's in the gap. They're going to have to hurry to get there. They won't get there. It hits the scoreboard, and some of the signs fall off the scoreboard. That'll bring in one run. Here's the play at the plate. It could be close. He's out. He must have missed home plate. The umpire waited and waited and waited. Shepard came all the way around from first base. And I don't know if we can see it again. I think that's here. Let's take a look at it again here, Chuck. I gotta believe he missed home plate.
Well, there it is. He gets all the wood on this one, drags it all the way back to the scoreboard. Now we'll wait and see as the relay, there it is, off the board. Now let's watch this as the runner rounds third. Here comes Shepard to the plate, and let's watch the throw. Slow it down. Here's the slide. Oh boy, he's got to go right across the plate. He's got to go right across the plate.
Well, Joe Sparks sure does think so. The argument ensues. The only thing I can figure, Chuck, that his posterior might have been off the ground when he came across there. We'll take a look at it again. Now the home plate umpire is Gary Cederstrom.
All right, now his right foot is going to go under Berryhill's right foot. But here's the left foot coming down. Here's the slide. Now the tag, if it's going to be made, is going to be made to the back side of Shepard.
But there's no out call now.
No. Now the leg has just extended right across the plate. There has to be a touch there.
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, we'll go to the top half of the 8th inning, and that's the biggest noise we've heard tonight. It's still 4-0. Iowa's out in front. We had a chance during the between inning break here to take a look at that replay again. We're going to hang on to it and show it to you again. We showed it to you a couple of times, and we're going to show it to you again and carry it through just a little bit further. Wade Rowden, Luis Quinones, and Damon Berryhill. Numbers 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Iowa Cubs are at the plate. We're in the top half of the 8th with the Iowa Cubs out in front by a 4-0 score. Missing inside. We're going to wait till we get enough time to take that replay through, because what you saw was not the completion of the replay. It goes on a little further. Not 2 balls and a strike. And Chuck, it's just got to be that the home plate umpire just simply thought that he had not touched home plate, Shepard, and slid over the plate.
Well, it's hard to assume as Rowden was down swinging. It's hard for us to assume from up here that the umpire did not see the left leg of Shepard sliding over the plate. Apparently, she could have been looking at the free foot, which did not touch, but at the same time, that hooked leg crossing the plate. I don't see how that leg could have crossed the plate without touching. Gary Cederstrom? Cederstrom makes the call. Okay.
All right, what we're going to do is hang on to this thing till the top of the next inning. We'll give you a chance to look at it. We're going to take it all the way through to where we watch the home plate umpire, Gary Cederstrom, waiting to make the call. It's a 1 ball and 1 strike count, 1 out in the top half of the 8th inning. Luis Quinones is 2 out of 3, single in the 1st and the 3rd, then fried to right in the 5th to end that inning. Well, that's the last thing the Tribe needed, was something like that, because that run might have kind of gotten things going for them again. Iowa Cubs continue to warm up. I think it's Jay Baller down that right field line now they get down there. And the Indians also going to the bullpen. 2 balls and 1 strike, now 2-2 on Luis Quinones. The Indians with Kurt Brown warming up down the left field line. Ground ball down to second. Gone by Johnny Paredes. Out to right field, and Billy Moore will toss it back in at another hit. Paredes third of the Quinones third of the night, and they've all come to right field.
Well, Quinones with Goodwood on this one rifles it between first and second. So Iowa has done an excellent job for a team that is mired as deeply as they are to hit the ball against the league-leading Indianapolis Indians, or should I say tied with Louisville.
Iowa's 5-9, 7th place in the division. Louisville is losing to Oklahoma City in the 5th, 5-4 out in Okie City. So the Indians, should they lose, could still be tied for the top spot, but with a win, could conceivably take it over by themselves. 4-0 they trail. All 4 runs coming in the top half of the first inning. Barry Hill singled in the first, infield single, struck out looking in the third, and walked in the 6th. So he's 1 for 2. And he also knocked in one of those 4 runs. We're in the 8th inning, Chuck, and I'm a little surprised that Ubaldo Heredia is still out there. But he's pitched well. Here's the ground ball to shortstop. It gets by Rivera off into center field, and Ron Shepard will toss it back in. Yeah, Rivera just never got to that ball. That'll be a base hit. Second of the night for Barry Hill. Now Paul Noce will come in, looking for his first hit of the night. Rivera just doesn't get to this ball, Chuck. Here's from the center field camera.
I wonder if he lost the ball. No. He made a good effort at it, and I think the ball came up. He was planning on sort of a medium bounce of the ball and scooting a little bit.
Yeah, it might have gotten under his glove. That is the 12th hit of the ball game now for the Iowa Cubs. That's a 13th. Scoreboard showing 12, but that's 13. Runners at first and second. 1 out. Top half of the 8th inning, and Paul Noce.
Back 2 now with the box.
Yeah, we'll see if they decide to make a change. Joe Sparks with Kurt Brown warming up. Right-handed relief pitcher for the Tribe. Popped up, heading out toward left field. Dallas Williams is out, so is Rivera. It'll be Luis who makes the catch. And 2 gone. The Indians have yet to get more than 1 hit in an inning. They have just 4 in the entire game. And Darren Jackson will step in. He's been a victim of strikeouts, swinging twice and then flied to left, so he's 0 for 3 tonight. Now, we're going to show you that play at home plate here between innings also, so if you missed that, hang around. It's an interesting play. Iridium in the stretch with runners on first and second, 2 gone. Base hit. That'll score 1 of the runs. Here is Ron Shepard bobbling the ball. The runner moves on to third base. And now runners at the corners. 14th hit of the ball game. Quinones scores, and we'll take a look at it again.
Now this is just a lazy little pop right out over second base that falls in front of the center fielder. Shepard plays it on a couple of hops and then holds the ball. If he makes a play to third, why, the runner at first can advance. So we've got runners now at the corners, first and third. 2 outs. And this brings up the pitcher, Davis. Check that. Valdez, pinch hitter. Julio Valdez. Fielder, 30 years of age.
Gotta hurry. They got him. Well, the Cubs still come up with 1 run in the 8th inning. We're going out of the bottom half of the 8th. And the Iowa Cubs have really so far.
I knew then I wanted to fly.
Iowa leading the Indianapolis Indians by a score 4-0.
Fans, don't forget to register for the $500,000 Couple Guard Racing promotion.
Chuck, let's take a look at this play at home plate. And my apologies, that was Pam Postema who had come to cover the plate because the home plate umpire had gone down to third base. Now watch it. Now here comes.
All right, Barry Hill is ready. He has the plate essentially blocked. There's only one path for Shepard to come in. Now watch Shepard's right foot. It goes past the plate, but the left leg is dragging across the plate right there.
Got to have touched the plate. Now there's still no call. Let it go.
No call.
Still no call. Still no call.
All right, Barry Hill is showing the ball to the to the umpire. Now he reaches over and makes the tag.
There's your out.
And there's the out.
Yeah, boy. That's the reason we wanted to take you all the way through that replay, because there was no. He had to miss the plate. There's no other way.
Well,
Gary Cedarstrom had gone down to cover third base. I'm not real sure why, except I guess the second base umpire had gone out to center field, and the third base ump had moved down to second, and Cedarstrom had gone down to third, and Pam Postema's job then was to come and cover the home plate, and Chuck kept referring to her, and he was exactly right. So we're in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and the Indians need to get something going in a hurry.
This is Tejada. Wilfredo needs to get this ball out of the infield and get us in a position to get some runs across.
Ball is inside. Tejada looking for his first hit of the ball game. Grounded back to the pitcher for the third out in the second. Struck out swinging in the 5th.
Well, I think we're going to see a pinch hitter for Indianapolis now. I think Joe Sparks probably is going to reach down in his dugout, send somebody in for Heredia, who, aside from that first inning, has pitched a pretty good ball game.
He really has. They've hit him rather solidly.
But they haven't grouped him. They haven't put him together.
Ground ball to second. Quinones, one gone. Did the fact that you looked down and saw another face in the on-deck circle have any effect on your decision that there might be a pinch hitter here?
That had a little bit to do with it.
Number 12, Jack Doherty.
Doherty's been coaching at first base all night. Number 12, Jack Doherty, will be pinch hitting for Ubaldo Heredia.
Doherty started 2 or 3 ball games out in left field.
Jerry, I don't think I ever eat Cracker Jack unless I'm at a ballpark, and when I get to a ballpark, I can't eat it.
Well, this is a good time to eat it, Chuck. Yeah, it really is. Doherty is 6 foot, 185-pound, 26-year-old player, hitting .234 coming into this ball game. Ground ball fair, unassisted for the first baseman. Now back to the top of the order. Well, the Iowa Cubs have really put hammer on the Indians tonight. When they got the hits, Chuck, they were so spread out that no hit affected another. We mentioned at one point they had 3 hits, and all 3 were extra base hits. In fact, all 4 of the hits are extra base hits. But no more than 1 in an inning. Iowa's left 7 men on base in this ball game tonight. Johnny Paredes, 0 for 3, 0 for 2, although he walked his last time up. Fly ball left field. Easy to handle for Rafael Palmeiro. And just like that, it's over as far as the 8th inning is concerned. 3 up and 3 down, no runs, hits, no errors. Well, the top half of the ninth inning of play with the Indianapolis Indians trailing the Iowa Cubs by a count now of 5-0.
Livingwell Fitness Centers and Wayne Hardware are coming together to sponsor this evening's special night of baseball, which
The score 5-0. As we are now looking at the batting order starting the top of the ninth inning for Iowa, Gary Varsho, Bill Stevenson, and Rafael Palmeiro. New pitcher for Indianapolis, Jack Brody.
Kurt Brown.
Brown, interesting stats on him before as he prepares to pitch to Varsho here. Right-handed pitcher, 27 years old.
One hopper.
Right, easy play.
The Paredes. So help me if you choke up here. I'm not going to help you till the game is over.
Well, I told you I like that. I love Cracker Jack.
Here's Kurt's numbers. Pretty good, impressive ERA with 3 saves.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's only pitched 11 innings, given up 7 hits. That's pretty good.
That's the first time they gotten Varsho out tonight, Chuck. As far as he was 4 for 4. Now they got him out a couple of times on pickoff plays and part of a double play, but he had a good night, 4 for 5.
Stevenson's 1 for 4. Brown catches the outside corner with that one. Brown seems to have, coming out of the bullpen with relief, has pretty good control and moderate speed. Puts that one away outside. The game has moved right along, Jerry.
Indeed it has. First inning I thought was going to take forever, then finally it's settled down pretty well.
Fouled away. Stevenson walked in the first, flied to left in the second inning, doubled in the 5th inning, and struck out in the 7th. First baseman ready. Brown delivers.
Line shot to right field is a base hit. Another hit.
So what's new?
Stevenson. That's his second hit of the ball game.
Brings up Palmeiro. Palmeiro's had a great night. Doubled to first, doubled in the second, struck out in the 5th, and was out second to first in the 7th.
That is the 15th hit of the ball game.
You could almost get a season's average out of this game tonight.
Boy, just doing some paperwork here on Heredia. Went 8 innings, allowed all 5 runs, gave up 14 hits, walked 2 and struck out 3. And gave up 4 runs in the first inning, and that's what really did the damage early. And just put the Tribe in such a hole. It was an uphill climb the rest of the way, and they still haven't climbed their way out of it yet. 5-0 is the score. Top half of the 9th inning. Oh, if that hits fair, it's going to go for extra bases. Curving. Fair ball. Chasing it down in left field is Dallas Williams. Rounding third base is Stevenson.
They got it.
They got him at the plate.
Great play. Just a great play.
It should be a double for Palmeiro, taking third on the throw, but what a great play. Let's take a look at this again. It'll be to Williams in left field. The cutoff man has got it, and here comes the throw to home. Was that Rivera at the cutoff man?
Yeah, the ball is already in. And there's the tag, chest high. And there's the call. And Pam in perfect position this time. She sees this one. And that's a good call this time.
That's an excellent defensive play. They hit the cutoff man beautifully. Here's the ground ball down to third base. Long throw by Reynolds. And what could have been an explosive inning just turns out to go out rather quietly. Well, it's all up for grabs now. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning of play. The Tribe's got a ton of work to do. It's 5-0 the Iowa Cubs. Tied at 93.
Jeez. Okay, we're back to start the bottom of the 9th inning. And for Indianapolis, Dallas Williams. Razor shines Billy Moore. Well, they got 3 big bats up there. But they've been throttled pretty much tonight, with the exception of Razor Shine's triple.
NBA update, Chuck, with 2 minutes to go on that ball game between the Pacers and the Atlanta Hawks. It's tied at 93.
Oh, my. Ulster heaven.
I get nervous when we're several
Right.
miles away from there right now.
You know, I think one of the hardest things to do in broadcasting basketball games is to watch a basketball game being broadcast.
It is.
Because you can't see everything that you see when you're doing a game. And then to listen to it, too, that makes it equally as exciting. Okay. We're all set to get things underway. Most of the crowd has headed for the exits, but the few thousand fans that do remain, and we've had a good crowd here this evening, 7,558, are getting set as they watch Dallas Williams dig in to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Indians' last hope.
Williams is 0 for 3 tonight. He flied to left, flied to center, and popped to short. Well, the Iowa Cubs, they've had 16 hits in this ball game. They get 5 of those at the first inning when they scored 4 runs. They added 1 more tally in the 8th, and it's 5-0. Foul back into the screen. No balls and 2 strikes to Dallas Williams.
A couple of pitchers tonight with winless records coming into this game have done an excellent job of handcuffing the Indianapolis hitting.
Well, unless something dramatic happens in a hurry, Heredia is going to get his first loss of the year. He was 3-0 coming into this contest, and Davidson stands to be the winner, and he would go 1-3 on the year.
Struck him.
Yeah, there's one of the main cogs in the arsenal that's gone down swinging, and now Razor Shines will come up. The Razor hit one like a bullet off that right center field wall for a triple in the first inning, but unfortunately, Billy Moore couldn't bring him home. And Shines in the ball game tonight is 1 for 3. Went down 3 unassisted in the 4th, and then fly to right in the 6th. Popped it up. Rowden calling, but it's taken by Noche. Now we're down to the final hope, Billy Moore. And Billy has 1 for 3 tonight. That was a triple to right field. And then he was wiped out in a double play, and then was back in the 4th inning. Pitch is low and away. No ball, 1 strike count.
Capel appears to be getting stronger.
Well, it's a good night for a pitcher. It's nice and cool. This pitch is low and away, and it's a no ball and 2 strike count. So the Indians were going to fall to 12-8, and they'll see how the Louisville Redbirds do. They are trailing by 1 in the 5th inning out in Oklahoma City. So they could still be in a tie for first place, though still percentage points out of first place at night's end. Billy Moore, 1 for 3. That one was a triple. 3 balls and a strike. Shines with a hit, Moore with a hit, Shepard with a hit, and Rivera. And that's the total to 4. None of which came in the same inning. No more than 1 per inning. So they just got nothing together, any kind of a threat tonight. Pitches inside and a walk. Although I still wonder, Chuck, what might have happened had Shepard been safe at home plate.
And that's the second walk given up by Capel. The other one, ironically, involving Shepard, about whom you were speaking just a moment ago.
So Jeff Reynolds stands in now. Reynolds likewise looking for his first hit of the ball game. He was on, but he got hit by a pitch back in the 4th. His other 2 appearances, he struck out swinging. And he's down to a no ball and 1 strike count now. Bottom of the 9th, 5-0 baseball game. High, apparently. There is Billy Moore down at first. It's Tom Romano, an outfielder, coaching down at first base now. Missed again. Two balls and a strike. Mike Capel on the mound now for the Iowa Cubs. That's the ball game. Line drive shot to third base. Wade Rowden is right on the spot. So handshakes all around for the Iowa Cubs. For the Indianapolis Indians, it's ahead to the dugout and then get set for tomorrow night's game, and it's the Sunday afternoon affair. Final score, the Iowa Cubs 5, the Indianapolis Indians nothing. Chuck and I will be back at Busch Stadium in just a minute. Back at a rapidly leaving crowd at the ballpark at Busch Stadium. Jerry Baker along with Chuck Marlowe, and there's your line score. 5 runs, 16 hits, no errors for the Iowa Cubs. They left 8. Indianapolis, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and they left 5 runners on base. As you look at the folks who helped make our telecast possible tonight, Chuck, this is a ball game that was actually over before a lot of the crowd even got settled in the stands tonight.
This was the kind of a game that when you stop to say had Iowa not had that big first inning, it might have been a different game. You possibly could have been could have been correct, although Iowa does score again late in the contest. They picked up another run, and in doing so, that was sufficient even at that stage. That run came in the 8th inning, but that was sufficient at that time to win the game for them. But it was a big first inning. 4 runs on 5 hits, and Iowa left 2. And had it not been for a couple of fine plays and namely a couple of strikeouts by Heredia, they might have had more than just the 4 in the first inning. They scored. They hit in every inning except the 6th. The Indians were unable to stop their big bats. They had 5 hits in the first inning, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. They went hitless in the 6th inning. Then they had 1 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th for 16.
Well, Chuck, I was just getting a score back here. The Indiana Pacers with 7 seconds to go in the ball game, trail by 3.
Ooh.
So that's what reason I didn't want to leave you hanging on it, but that's what I was trying to check for you. So you got your newscast coming up on Channel 4, and I'm sure they'll have a final on that ball game. Well, we've enjoyed it tonight. Our thanks to Howard Kellner for coming by and joining us also. The Indians now have a night game tomorrow night against these Iowa Cubs, 7:30 broadcast, and then Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock they'll face off against Iowa. Then they take off for a 6-game road trip. They'll be back in on Monday, the 11th of May, against the Louisville Redbirds, and that could be a battle for the top spot at that point in time. Final score again is 5-0. Chuck, it was a good ball game, fun to do tonight.
Thank you.
That's it from the old ballpark. Jerry Baker for Chuck Marlowe saying so long from Busch Stadium.
Indians baseball has been brought to you in part by the Indianapolis Independent Zenith Dealers and by Living Well, America's Health Clubs.